Hello and welcome back to Flight Sim World, and today, well, you can already guess what I'm doing because you can see that I am looking around the cockpit of this Seneca 5. Yes, today we are going to be taking a look at some head tracking and seeing if head tracking works in any way in Flight Sim World at the moment. I think with the Sim Connect being out, the SDK being out, I have managed to get head tracking working. It's not brilliant. You might see some ghosting as I'm flying around, but I want to take a look at the south of England. There's a specific reason why I'm taking a look at the south of England. I don't like that. Switch off the dome light. There we go. The reason I'm taking a look at the south of England is because of something that I'm going to be doing in Transport Fever in Series 3. If you haven't seen my 2000 subscriber special, I talk all about it there. So yeah, let's switch that on. So you'll be able to know all about that there if you want to check that video out. Let me just have a look in to see what lights I need to switch on. That looks about right. Everything's good up here. Yeah, all the lights seem to be fine over here. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're just going to take off and we're just going to fly over this sort of the South Downs in England. So this is an area of hills, really nice hills. Somewhere that I've actually never been, but there's a lot of stories about this place as well. A very famous children's book in the UK known as Watership Down, which actually comes from the Downs over here. So we're just going to take off our flaps. We got our flaps out. Yep, that looks good. Everything looks good. I'm not using track IR or anything. I also want to tune in something. I'm going to tune in 108. Is it 108.2? I think that's what I want to tune in. Let's see if that actually brings up anything on here. Nothing. I'm pretty sure it's 108.2. In any case, I'm not looking to land or anything in any proper fashion. Maybe it's 108.5. Let me try 108.5. And as you can see, it's not all too easy to do this. I could switch off the head tracking at certain points. It's 108.5. Okay, fine. It's not 108.2. 29 miles away. That's actually, I think it's that's the VOR for Boscombe Down. So it's one of the downs. There's an airport right there. So if anything, we can fly towards that. So here we go. I'm just going to take off, nice and slowly. As you can see, I can actually look up properly. I can look down. I haven't sorted out the head tracking properly. I'm not using track IR or anything. I can't afford a track IR. If you want to help me out with that, yeah, do support me on Patreon. And I'll be able to afford a track IR, and then we'll have track IR support in this, or we'll be doing videos with track IR. But that's good. Let's rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. And flaps in. Fantastic. I thought I was taking off from Gatwick. I don't remember Gatwick having two. Wait a minute. Since when does Gatwick have two runways? Right, we'll bring back the power slightly. Trim the aircraft nicely. And you can see that I have set up the pink line so that we can... We know roughly where we need to go, and that's just so I can use this head tracking a little bit more today. Very nice. Very nice. That I can... The fact that I can actually do that is really cool. So we've got a nice decent climb rate of about 1,000 foot a minute. And if I look in, I can actually look in at that at the PFD a little bit better. We can actually read all the information, which is really cool. You may be wondering why I'm doing this and going around the side. It's because I need to get out of the way of my mic. So where the sort of right here, that's where the mic is. If I do this, I'm literally looking directly at the mic about there. So that's why I need to go around to have a look at the PFD. But still, this is actually really nice. Look at that. You can have a look outside. And I think I suppose I could zoom out a little bit like that. That would probably make it a little bit easier to look around. Yeah, that makes it a lot easier to look around. There you go. And I can just look forward. Look over the nose of the aircraft. Sort of go through the pillar. Not exactly what I'm supposed to do, but that's okay. Bring that nose down. I think I'm quite happy at this sort of height, so if I just bring the nose down, get ourselves turning. But look at that, the fact that I can use head tracking in this. This is incredible. This is perfect. This is what we've always wanted. And bring the power back now. I am working on a few other things to get there, to not just for head tracking, but to get other systems working. And as I get them working, I'll be sort of starting to actually do that in Flight Sim World and use them in Flight Sim World. Let's sort of give ourselves a nice altitude hold here. That's cruise. Altitude. Yeah, that looks about good to me. Let's switch it on. No, that's your damper. That. And we'll go into altitude hold mode right there. Fantastic. There we go. That will sort out the altitude for us. So we can actually have a nice look around. Which I think is just so awesome. I mean, look, I can look. Oh, look, there's some houses down there. Let me take a closer look at those. I mean, obviously the head tracking I haven't sorted out perfectly yet, for the simple fact that I can do this, which is kind of not realistic. But I can also do this. Nope, that's just gone out of range. Well, now I'm back in range. That went out of range because the microphone's in the way. I suppose if I go forward and do that, I'll be able to look all the way over. There you go. You can have a much better look at all the controls and everything. And once I get the microphone sort of sorted out in a much better fashion, then I might be able to do a bit more with this. Get the aeroplane turning. Ah, it doesn't want to turn. Why does it always do this? Ooh. Hey, look. That's a... I didn't know they had birds in here. Well, that's new. I didn't know they had that. So it's trying to get back on altitude. I need to bring back the power now. There we go. I don't think it's like the hold altitude hold. Let's do that again. Make sure that works right. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the speed, about 150 knots. And the fact that I can look around the aircraft, look, I can look up there. I mean, we could probably go to different views. Let's have a look. There we go, from that view. Take a look around. That's really, really cool, that is. So that's something you can't normally do. So on this view there's no forward and backwards. There's some roll. So I'm just rolling my head to the left and to the right. I can look left and right, but I can't... Yeah, I can't actually move to the left and right. So that's that view. This view... Yeah, I got everything here. I've got full control. Fantastic. You see 29.6 nautical miles away from wherever we've set up the 29.7. Huh. Maybe I have tuned in the wrong one. Let me actually change this. I thought it was 2, but maybe I was wrong. Let me try now. .50 nautical miles. There we go. It was 2. So 108.5 must be somewhere else. That's behind Gatwick. There we go. What does the waypoint say now? EGDM, 50 miles away or 40... There we go. Okay, another view. Let's see what other views we have. We've got the overhead panel view. Again, I can look around that one. Can I look into it? Yep, I can look into that one. Got the engine controls. Again, similar. Can look around. The transponder. Again, can look around. Can't move left and right on this one. And then the pilot's view again. We've got the outside view, which I can look around that as well, which I think is really, really fancy. Good way to get screenshots. Going, oh look at that. So there's that. From there, the flyby is obviously locked. This that one's locked, and the spot itself it's much harder to move around. Lock spot is much easier. Nearest tower, can't really do anything. This is the one that I'm really kind of interested in. I can look around in the passenger seat. Now that's kind of cool. Or in this seat. Look at that. I can actually just look around, and I think that is really, really, that's really, really fancy. So I can say, oh hello, just look around there. I can be talking to people. I can set the view for that to be center, and then look around at this side. That's cool. That's cool. From this angle view, we can look around as well. So can we from this view, up, down, everywhere. And same from this view. Bit of lag there, bit of lag. Same for this view. So we've got a lot of options right here in front of us. Angle view 5, angle view 6, same thing. Number 7 and number 8. That could even be the thumbnail. That could be a possible thumbnail. That's why I'm holding my head straight there. Back to passenger seat and then back to the pilot seat. That is really, really awesome. Now at this moment in time, I'm actually looking over, not because I'm trying to look over. I'm looking over because I need to see how far through the video I am. I'm about 13 minutes through the video. I haven't got my watch right next to me. Is there a timer somewhere on here? There should be a clock somewhere on here. I could just use that. There we go. 11:47. So if I just wait for that to get to 12 o'clock. Yeah, if we get that to 12 o'clock, we know we've been a decent amount. There's some more hills out in that side. Look, I can even have a look there. You can see some hills out there. That's actually the English coast. That's the coast. That's the English Channel out that way. Out this way is a cloud. I look down. See, yeah, we're just at the base of the cloud. So you can just see how we're looking here. So we've got the direct vision window is closed. I wonder if we open that. I was kind of hoping the sound would change. It doesn't. Can we open this? I don't know what this window's for. Someone did ask me, and I thought that was a direct vision window as well. It certainly looks like it, but I'm not all too sure. Not too sure at all. But yeah, I mean, this is really good. I just hide those controls. I can look around everywhere. I think this is super fancy. This is. And you know what? I might be using this in every video from now on. If it continues to work, admittedly I had to use a bit of tweaking and everything to get it working. But if it continues to work, I'm going to be using this in every video from now on. I already use it again in my Assetto Corsa videos. Any series that I can use it in, I will be using it. I might try this in Train Sim World. Although, that being said, I mean, Train Sim World does have the standard look, the free look view. But you know, this just brings a whole new level of enjoyment to flight simulation. See, if I were to zoom in like that, I've just got a really, really good view now. I can look down there. You can see the trees over there as we go through it. They really need to still work on those trees. If you haven't seen my Flight Simulator Flight Sim World 2017 in review video, I recommend you go check that out. The only problem I have is that by looking around, I am trying to direct my voice back towards this microphone, but obviously that's not happening. And then if I press 0 on this, because of what I'm using, I think 0 will just center my view, and you'll hear a little ding. There you go. So that's now center my view, saying right, that's now center for you. And pressing 2 will get rid of it, but unfortunately 2 is also binded to something else, so I'm not going to press it. I'll try and speed up a little bit. I'm doing 130 knots. I'd like to try and speed up a little bit from that. There we go. It also makes it might make it a little bit easier to manage some of these propeller controls, because I can then look over for them. I showed you, did I show you the roll in here? So I've set the roll to be about that much, not too much. I don't want to be able to roll too much, because that might make people see. That now looks like we're banking very, very rapidly, or very steeply, so it's a bit awkward. And you can still see there is some lag, but we're trying to work it out. We're definitely working on it. You see some motorways. I'll definitely find a place to land, of course. And this also gives me a much easier sense of, I can look out the window. I can look. There's a place to land right there. See, I wouldn't have noticed that if I was just looking out this way. I would have gone, where's there a place to land? But now I can just look around, and it's not really delayed. It's maybe half a second delay. I can look around there and say, okay, that's a place to land. Interesting. We could possibly take that. I mean, I'm going to continue for a little while longer. We haven't had that long a video. Maybe I can actually get to the other downs. But this is all sort of the downs in the UK. Lovely area. I was having a look at a height map for this for my Transport Fever series, and I have a feeling that this whole area used to be swamp and marshland because of the way the river seems to flow. I mean, out that way, the Thames split up into so many different, what do you call them, tributaries. So many different ones, and it meandered its way through the valley, and you could see where, like, this whole area looks like it was once marshland, and sort of the tops of the downs were just the hills, and then anything at the bottom was just marsh and bogs and stuff like that. And it's really, really incredible watching or looking at that height map. It's also an absolute pain to make that height map, but there you go. I think we're actually doing really, really well here. Nice speed, 144 knots. 150 knots airspeed. Sorry, ground speed it seems. That's 30 miles away. Just see out that way is Southampton. In fact, you can just see some buildings out there as well. Going through the pillar again. Again, I quite like this bug. Obviously because I haven't set it up right. I really like that one. I think that's really cool. I do have to move myself way across. I mean, listen to me talk when I'm out over there. Hello, I'm now out over at the side. You probably can't even hear me from here. But it's like sort of, you could say you've opened the window and you're just leaning out the window. You're leaning your head out the window, or you're trying to reverse your plane. I mean, I think I can look right behind me as well. I haven't set it up to look all the way behind me, but I could set it up to look all the way behind me, and then I could just lean out the plane. I'm like backing the plane up. You're alright, you're alright, you're alright. It's really, really nifty. It's pretty cool, this is. And I did use this once in Flight Simulator. Once or twice I used it in Flight Simulator, which was really, really cool as well. But I haven't used it. Obviously, I haven't played Flight Simulator that much in a long time. I'm going to get a bit more speed out of this, actually. There we go. And given the heights we're at, I don't really think we need to mess around with the... Actually, given the speed we're at, we could do that. There we go. That would probably be less... You would be putting a less pressure on the actual aircraft and on the... There we go. You can see the RPM dropping off right there. And that's just to ease pressure on the aeroplane. We don't want it to be. We don't want the RPMs to remain too high all the while, all the time that we're flying. There we go, 2,400. That looks pretty good. And look, we're still maintaining speed. We're still doing a pretty good job there. We drop off the throttle a little bit, and there we go. 2,400 RPM, doing 150 knots, looking at all the hills, all the wonderful hills. And the thing is, England really is this sort of forest. There are woods everywhere in England, especially around this area. There are so many woods and forests. It's absolutely wonderful. England is a place full of forests and farms. That's really what England is. And I know it sounds a little bit boring and dull, but it really isn't. The roads don't cut through anything. Oh, we got turbulence. I'm gonna put my hands on the control sticks just in case. I'll put my hands on the control surfaces. Oh, when we just went past a bird. I suppose the birds may indicate where there's pockets of, what do you call it? Pressure pockets. I think that's what it is. That might be what that is indicating. Whoa. I must say, with head tracking and turbulence, you do feel a little bit sick. Because that's not just my head moving everywhere. That's just the turbulence as well, kicking in. Alright, so we're about 20 miles away now from the Downs, or the down that I want, the airport. What's it called? Something Coombe Down. Yeah, something like that. So I'm going to take another look at the time. 20 minutes into the video. I think we can do another 10 minutes on this. Or I could split this into 2 parts. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll split this into 2 parts. We'll do a head tracking landing in the next video. So yeah, I'm not going to do the whole thank you very much and everything. You guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, and support me on Patreon if you can. I will do the thank you. Thank you for watching this episode, and I'll see you guys next time in Flight Sim World.